Stratus 0 by Isaac Petrov. Prologue. Through the Cloud. Jax Morrow stood at the edge of the cargo ramp, 37,000 feet above the Nevada desert, the world below split between black mountain veins and a horizon glowing like the edge of a blade. The plane's interior screamed with turbulence. His altimeter flickered. Something was wrong with the barometer, but he didn't care. The moment was too pure, too final. No backup chute, no GPS beacon. Just a GoPro strapped to his chest and a half-worn parachute older than he was. Jax wasn't diving for records, for medals, or for the million-click stunt video he'd promised to sponsor. He was diving to disappear. Fuck all of it. He turned off the radio, took one breath, and leapt. The air crushed him. His body spun, twisted, then leveled, 200 miles per hour straight down. The GoPro blinked red. Lightning flared somewhere below, but the cloud he was diving into was a smooth, impossible thing, a silver Stratus wall suspended in sunlight. Too flat, too still. This isn't right, but it was too late. He hit the cloud. It wasn't vapor. It felt dense, like falling through gelatin. Cold flooded his mouth. His ears screamed. Then, darkness, not black, blank, a blinding absence of everything. Jax Morrow ceased to fall, and somewhere, someone hit record. Chapter 1. Welcome to Holloway. Jax woke up on hot asphalt, face down, with the smell of melting tar in his nostrils and his parachute tangled like seaweed behind him. The first thing he noticed wasn't the pain, though his ribs felt like they'd been kicked in by a horse. It was the silence. Not just quiet. Not a single goddamn sound. No birds. No traffic. No wind through the trees. He rolled onto his back, blinking against the harsh light. Well, shit, that's new. He was on a highway, perfectly paved, yellow lines still fresh. Beyond the tree line on either side, dense pines loomed like walls, but nothing moved. No insects. No life. His parachute lay sprawled across both lanes like an accident frozen mid-scene. He sat up slowly, every joint stiff like it had been days. His altimeter was cracked. GoPro? Dead. No GPS. His phone buzzed once, then displayed a no signal warning and hard-locked. He looked around. No wreckage. No aircraft. Just a highway that led in both directions toward nowhere. Okay. Find civilization. Find answers. Don't fucking panic. He walked. For hours. The sun stayed high, never shifting much. His shadow stayed long, like it refused to let go of morning. Eventually, the forest broke. A sign emerged from the shoulder. Welcome to Holloway. Population, 3,104. Below that, a slogan painted in cheerful blue, where every stranger's a friend. Yeah, let's test that. The town wasn't dead. That's what bothered him. Every storefront looked immaculate. Cars were parked neatly at meters. Mailboxes weren't overflowing. A school zone light blinked yellow on a corner, like class was about to start any minute. But there were no people. Not in the windows, not on the streets, not in the parked cars, nothing. He stepped into a gas station. The door beeped politely. Inside, the air was cool. Fluorescents hummed overhead. A coffee pot was half full, still steaming. A fresh sandwich sat on the counter, half wrapped in wax paper. Security mirrors above tracked his every move. Slowly, deliberately. Someone's watching. Gotta be. He opened the register, full of cash, tried the office, locked. He grabbed the sandwich, took a bite. It was fresh. He checked 5 more buildings, all the same. Restaurants with food still warm, TVs left on in bars, a laundromat spinning dry clothes, everything functioning. He sat on the curb, chewing what might have been someone's half-eaten hot dog, and stared at the traffic lights. They cycled green to yellow to red, over and over. No cars ever came. This is a prank, an elaborate, fucked-up prank, he shouted. Loud, obscene. Hello? Anyone here? I'll fucking pay you to show your face! Nothing. A flicker caught his eye. A small red dot, blinking slowly, mounted above the door of the town pharmacy. A camera. He scanned the rooftops. There were dozens of them. Tiny, nearly invisible lenses mounted on lampposts, doorways, window frames, all facing inward. He wasn't alone. He was being observed. Jax Morrow stood up slowly and looked straight into the nearest lens. He raised his middle finger and said, loud and clear, "Get ready, assholes. I'm coming to find you." Chapter 2. The Perfect Control. 500 feet beneath the surface of what the public believed was an abandoned missile silo, a dozen scientists sat in silence, watching Jax Morrow eat a gas station hot dog. Monitors tracked his vital signs. His cortisol was spiking, pupil dilation uneven. Sweat analysis showed high stress. Perfect. "He's entering stage 2, said Dr. Vera Lang, not looking up from her tablet. Isolation trauma with mild aggression. Elevated suspicion, but no clear target yet. The others made notes. No applause, no excitement, just data. They weren't psychopaths. They were professionals. Lang herself had a PhD in behavioral collapse studies from Yale. Her research on induced psychological decay in simulated environments was internationally banned and privately funded. The Holloway simulation was her masterpiece. One floor above them, banks of servers rendered every inch of Holloway in real time. Perfect ambient sound, slightly off-tuned to create unease. Time-locked weather systems, digital scent pulses embedded in ventilation grids, hidden directional speakers, tuned to mimic phantom whispers. Nothing in the town was real. The food was printed. The coffee was flash-steamed and perfumed with aldehydes. Even the birds were animatronic. Jax Morrow, Subject 017, was the newest mouse in the maze. In a break room nearby, Lang met with her lead tech, Porter. Lang, has he noticed the loop yet? Not consciously. He's flagged the cameras but thinks it's surveillance, not structure. Good. We want escalation. Let him get paranoid. Let him act. She remembered the last subject. Subject 016 had tried to burn the town down after 41 days. He'd been too slow, too docile. The suicide came before the collapse could be fully mapped. Jax was different, meaner, restless, a bastard with no tether. He's gonna crack. I can feel it. Or he's gonna kill you. Lang amused. Then I'll die famous. Elsewhere in the lab, in a sealed observation bay, cryotubes lined the walls. 17 of them. Some still had blinking lights. Others were dark, the names scratched out. A whiteboard read, Subject 17, live current duration 3 days. Full awareness projection T+9 days. The goal was clear. Study what happens to the human mind when it is utterly, violently alone. No gods, no voices, just surveillance and lies. Back in the Holloway construct, Jax stood in the center of Main Street, breathing hard, scanning rooftops, unaware that hundreds of eyes were on him, not just human. Algorithms, too. AI sympathetic routines analyzing his gait, tone, eye movement. They mapped his anger in real time. They were building a model of him. Jax Morrow was the experiment. But he wouldn't stay that way forever. You're not ghosts. You're not gods. You're watching. Good. Watch this. Chapter 3, Cracks in the Mirror. By the third day in Holloway, Jax had stopped calling out for help. He didn't care anymore. If someone was going to answer, they would have. If they were alive, they'd have shown themselves. If they were human, they wouldn't be hiding behind fucking cameras. Now, he spoke only when he wanted to send a message. If this is a goddamn experiment, I hope you choke on your notes. The cracks started small. Every morning, the same damn crow landed on the traffic light at 3rd and Monroe. Same squawk, same flutter of wings, same leftward glance. Jax started leaving things out, moved a road cone 2 inches left on day 2. On day 3, it was exactly where he'd first found it. He smashed a storefront window, only to find it perfectly repaired the next day. Reset? Someone's resetting the set? At night, he watched the streetlights flicker in a pattern, not random, timed, left to right to left. Like blinking Morse code he couldn't yet decode, he tested buildings. Each had the same layout variations, same chairs, same brand of cereal, no expiration dates on anything. The grocery store was full of plastic produce that smelled like air freshener. The apples were heavy, too heavy, filled with something. He carved into one and found wires. You fucking pieces of shit, he laughed once, bitter and broken. Then he threw the apple at the nearest camera and watched the glass shatter into pieces. That night, the power cut for 4 minutes, then rebooted, like a nervous tick in the system. It was the first time Jax saw it panic. Not them, it, the town. It's not just surveillance, it's responsive. He followed the humming, electrical, low frequency, like an underground pulse. Behind the Holloway High School gymnasium, he found a manhole cover unmarked and warm to the touch. He pried it open with a tire iron, climbed down into pitch black, and found the truth waiting for him. Cables, racks of blinking hardware, panels with labels like Scenario Sync, Loop A, and Audio Spoof Node Interior 14. It was a fucking control center, a hidden subsystem no one was supposed to find. He tore one panel off the wall and found a speaker mounted behind a fake vent. Help me, is anyone there? Help me, is anyone there? They'd made him chase fake voices. He sat down in the dark with the cables buzzing beside him, head in hands, rage coiling in his chest. I'm not crazy, you're fucking with me. This isn't a test, this is a goddamn crime. He turned the tire iron in his hand and smashed the comms unit to sparks. Then he climbed back up into the dead town. Eyes open, teeth clenched. If it was all fake, someone was behind it. And Jax Morrow had a new goal. I'm gonna find whoever's running this shit show, and I'm gonna bury them in it. Chapter 4, Ghost Protocol. Jax didn't sleep much after the manhole. He couldn't. Every creak of the wind sounded like a whisper. Every flicker of light now felt like it meant something. There were no accidents in Holloway, only design. On the 6th night, it rained. Hard. Not a natural storm. Not to his ears. The thunder was too regular, the rain too clean. It felt like the world had been programmed to simulate melancholy. The entire fucking weather system had a tone. He walked the empty streets, soaked to the skin, arms bare and teeth clenched. Let's see how you handle chaos. He broke into the old church on Vine Street. Inside, pews were lined with mannequins dressed like townsfolk, perfectly arranged, every seat filled, a priest dummy at the pulpit, mouth slightly open, Bible glued to the page. Behind the altar, a speaker embedded into the wood. It whispered a Latin phrase over and over, Miserere nobis, miserere nobis. He set the pulpit on fire. He watched as plastic flesh melted from the mannequin priest, revealing the servo core underneath. Every pew stayed filled. No one screamed. They're not even trying to hide the fakery anymore. At 3:17 a.m., walking east toward the industrial park, he saw movement. Not just a glitch, not a camera, someone, a person, not plastic, not robotic, a silhouette in a rain poncho, moving between shadows, watching. He broke into a sprint, bare feet slapping wet pavement. The figure vanished behind a corrugated fence. Jax climbed it, rolled into the alley beyond, empty. But on the ground, something gleamed, a broken camera lens, and next to it, boot prints. Back underground, in the real world, Lang cursed loudly. Lang, how the hell did Unit 4 lose visual? I told you, no exposed agents. Porter, it was a drone handler, just a maintenance walk. Then why the fuck was Subject 017 chasing him? No answer. Lang walked to the master screen and rewound the feed. Watched Jax burn the church. Watched him find the manhole. Watched him run. He's improvising, she muttered. He's adapting. He's angry. She smiled. Now we're getting somewhere. She keyed in a new directive. Initiate Ghost Protocol. Sci-Sub 0117 Stage 4 Stimulus. Phantom audio plus duplicate entity shadowing. Deploy thermal hallucinations and corner presence cues every 2.5 minutes. Suppress food comfort cycle for 72 hours. Jax didn't need more hallucinations. He was already close to the edge. That night, as the rain died and mist rolled in, he saw a reflection in a storefront window. Not his own. It was him, yes, but clean-shaven, smiling, dressed in clothes he hadn't worn since college. The reflection waved. Jax smashed the glass and screamed into the street. Come out and face me! I see you! I fucking see you! Nothing, but something whispered back. Not in words, not aloud. A low-frequency hum that vibrated through his teeth, deeper than speech. And in that moment, for the first time, Jax felt genuinely afraid, because he realized this wasn't just surveillance, it was haunting. Chapter 5, Revelation. Feed Jax hadn't eaten in over 30 hours. He tried, sure, but every time he opened a fridge, the food looked plastic. Every bottle he picked up had no weight. Every time he brought something to his lips, the smell of burning circuitry turned his stomach. The illusion was dying. Next thing I'll be shitting copper wire. He staggered into the town library, not for books, for shelter. He'd been circling for hours. The streets were repeating, literally. Same trash pile, same cracked sidewalk, same bent stop sign at Elm and Fifth. It was a goddamn loop. He slammed the library door behind him and slumped into a chair, dripping with sweat, shirt torn. He looked like he'd clawed his way out of a grave. Then he saw the glow. A screen, built into the back wall where a bookshelf had clearly been removed, active, bright, flickering with static. He stood up, approached, wiped a smear of blood from his cheek on his sleeve and leaned in. The screen flashed white, then displayed a grid of 9 live video feeds, each one showing him. Different angles, different times. One showed him walking into the gas station. One had him asleep in the pharmacy. One, Jesus. One showed him screaming at the mirror inside the church he burned. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Subject 017, Morrow Jax. Stage 4 confirmed. Cognitive destabilization at 78%. He backed away. Nearly tripped over a power cable snaking into the wall. Beneath the screen, a port, a data port, USB compatible. Next to it, a tablet. Not a prop. Real, functional, unlocked. He grabbed it, swiped through a few menu screens. File after file. Sizelog 017.doc. Collapse graph 6 cycle.v4 subject profile Morrow final. He opened that last one. It was all there. His birth date, his last known address, his prior suicide attempt after his brother overdosed, his military disciplinary report for psychological volatility, photos from his private cloud account, ones he'd never shared, a transcript of a therapy session from 6 years ago. They'd been watching him for years. He snapped the tablet shut and killed the screen, pressed himself against the wall, waited, no movement, just the soft whirring of internal cooling fans and a red recording light blinking in the ceiling corner. They think this is still a study. They think I'm still unraveling. He walked behind the counter, found the fire axe. It had weight, real weight. He tested the grip, tested the swing. It wasn't going to be a study anymore. It was going to be a fucking massacre. He left the library, let the cameras see him, let them track the weapon, let them wonder, let him panic. He found the feed node. Shit, that's early. That's way too early. No, this is exactly right. Let him think he's in control. I want to see what a broken man does when he finally decides to break back. What Lang didn't realize is, Jax wasn't planning to run. He was planning to dig. And the next time he found a cable, he wasn't going to disconnect it. He was going to follow it home. Chapter 6, Sabotage. Jax didn't sleep that night. He didn't eat, didn't speak. He sat in the middle of Holloway's fake town square with the fire axe in his lap and his eyes fixed on the blinking red lens mounted beneath the stoplight. He knew they were watching. He wanted them to. You took my life. You took my mind. You made me your fucking rat. Now I'm building my own maze. Just before dawn, or whatever passed for dawn in this artificial hell, he moved. First, the grocery store. He took every can of food, every bottle of water, every box of powdered anything. He stacked them all in the center aisle, doused it with gasoline siphoned from one of the abandoned cars, set it alight. Next, the diner. He dragged every table outside, blocked the main road, poured oil across the linoleum, and carved Ulus into the counter with the axe. He left the fire department untouched. Symbolic, maybe. Or maybe because that's where he'd found the fuse box the night before. He followed the power lines under the street, a sub-basement labeled Maintenance Only Zone 4. Behind a heavy steel door, a rack of servers, cooling fans, humming tech, no dust, recently maintained, connected to everything. Found you. The axe came down, sparks flew, wires hissed, something popped. Emergency lights kicked in. Jax moved fast now, methodical. He traced every labeled cable, Envire Loop A, drone feed, audio sim cycle, and destroyed them one by one. When he found the comms relay, the core uplink, he didn't smash it. He connected to it. The tablet still worked. He jacked in via the port and watched a new menu appear. Live uplink engaged. Your admin team welcome, Jax Morrow. They gave me access. No, not gave. They left it, like a trap, or a test. Either way, he took it. He typed fast, crude, words that bled hate and promise. To whoever's watching this, I know you think you're gods. I know you think I'm a puppet, but you made a mistake. You left me alive. He sent the message through every node, over every broadcast line, hijacked every speaker in Holloway. My name is Jax Morrow, and I'm coming to kill every last one of you. Lang. Shut it down. Pull the plug now. He's got root access. We can't sever without crashing the system. Then crash it before he gets in any deeper. Jax saw the countdown. System shutdown in 10, 9, 8. He smiled. Then pulled the comms cable from the terminal and followed it through the hatch labeled Core Staff Access Level B. Wherever you are, whatever bunker you're hiding in, you're not safe anymore. Jax Morrow had just made it personal, and he was done playing the fucking game. Chapter 7. The Other Subjects. The tunnel behind the hatch was cold and narrow, like a forgotten vein beneath a corpse. The deeper Jax moved, the more the town above felt like a cartoon, bright colors smeared over rotten meat. He emerged into a lower-level corridor lined with reinforced glass walls and flickering biometric scanners. This ain't set dressing. This is real. He was in their underbelly now. No simulations, no mannequins, just steel, electricity, and secrets. At the end of the hall stood a room sealed by a thick glass door. Beyond it, rows of vertical chambers. Cryopods. 16 of them, each one marked with a serial tag and a status light. Most were red, a few blinked green, one flickered yellow like a dying candle. He stepped closer, pressed a bloodied palm against the glass. Inside the first pod, a woman, maybe 40, eyes closed, hooked to tubes. Tag, Subject 009, Erica Chin. Next, a boy, barely 18, curled up like a fetus. Tag, Subject 0114, Miguel Arias. And then, a pod with his name on it. They had me on standby? His file, his mind, his fuck-ups, all catalogued, one failed experiment in a series of broken souls. He opened the one pod still powered, the yellow one. Inside was a man in his 30s, eyes fluttering under REM sleep, heart monitor beeping slow and steady. Jax didn't know him, didn't need to. He killed the power to the pod. The man twitched once, then went still, dead. One less test subject, one less fucking rat. Pod integrity breach, chamber 12. Lang, he's in the containment vault. Let him see it. Let him feel it. Jax walked the length of the chamber like a warlord in a tomb. He smashed the glass on the wall case labeled Field Ops, Security Emergency Only, and pulled the sidearm from within. It was real. He checked the mag. Loaded. He grabbed 3 more from the weapons rack, plus 2 flashbangs and a tactical harness. They'd built a control chamber. Now he'd use it to storm the castle. Past the vault, another door opened automatically as he approached. A retinal scanner read his face. It shouldn't have worked, but it did. He entered, a viewing deck, full glass, lights dimmed, speakers off, and down below, through the window, a live auditorium space, desks, consoles, 12 people seated. Not mannequins, not illusions, humans. His jailers. They stared at screens, unaware he was watching. No urgency, no chaos, just quiet clinical detachment. Not anymore. Jax stepped back into the corridor. He knew where they were, and now he knew what came next. Jax Morrow wasn't escaping. He was invading. Chapter 8, The Reckoning. The elevator was unguarded. Of course it was. Nobody expected the test subject to make it this far. Nobody imagined the rat would gnaw through the fucking floor of the maze. Jax descended with one gun strapped to his thigh, another tucked in the waistband of his stolen security gear, and a flashbang in each hand. His hands didn't shake. They wanted to study collapse. They were about to witness what it looked like when a man stopped braking and started hunting. The doors slid open onto a long corridor lined with one-way glass. He could feel the weight of observation. Even now, cameras buzzed, lenses twitched. He stepped into the hallway like a soldier returning to a battlefield that had never been his. No more mirrors, no more wires, just blood. Multiple breaches, power fluctuation in levels B and C. Is he in the GOM tower, Porter? He bypassed everything. He's here, Vera. Lang reached for the emergency lockdown protocol. Access denied. He's in the system. Jesus Christ, he's watching us. Jax passed through one final security door. Beyond it, the observation chamber. Glass wall, 12 people inside. No guards, no alarms, no escape hatches. Just doctors, techs, behavioral analysts, the architects of his hell. Lang was there, front and center, calm, staring him down like he was a misbehaving dog. Lang, you're not the first, you won't be the last. Yeah? Well, guess what? The first shot dropped the man nearest the comms panel. The second hit a woman in the neck as she reached for a panic button. Chaos exploded. They scrambled, screamed. Lang didn't move. Jax stepped into the room and fired again. 2 more dropped. Someone begged. Someone else threw a chair. A flashbang hit the center of the room. Then came the cleansing, 1 bullet at a time. By the time the smoke cleared, the only person left alive was Lang. She stood with blood on her cheek, breathing hard, eyes locked on Jax. He leveled the gun at her. She didn't flinch. Lang, if you kill me, the system rebuilds. The experiment lives on. You're just a data point. Jax, then let it die with me. He pulled the trigger. The lab was quiet, the doors unlocked, the lights flickered and dimmed. Jax climbed to the surface via the emergency shaft, stepped into dawn light, and stared out over a flat, endless desert. No roads, no cars, no rescue, but no walls, no cameras, no fucking games. Free, whatever that means now. Jax Morrow walked into the desert, blood-soaked, hollow-eyed, a man who had buried his gods. Chapter 9, Stratus offline. The sun was too clean. That's what struck him first. No glare, no warmth. Just a sterile orange disk hanging in a perfectly blue sky like it had been painted on glass. Jax walked east toward the horizon, if it could be called that, with blood stiff on his hands and dirt in his teeth. Behind him, a buried bunker. Beneath it, corpses. Behind them, years of lies. No one comes back from something like this. He walked for hours, maybe days. Time was unmeasured now. No phone, no signal. Just silence, broken only by the rhythm of his steps and the scream of his own pulse echoing in his ears. And then, a drone. Tiny, sleek, watching. It hovered 50 feet above him, lights blinking, lenses adjusting. He stopped, stared up, smiled. "You still watching? Good. Let me give you something to upload." He raised the sidearm and fired once. Sparks flew. The casing shattered. He stepped forward, crushed the lens beneath his boot. "Stratus is offline. You hear me, Vera? You fucking parasites? You lost." An anonymous tip led local authorities to an abandoned military compound near the Nevada border. Inside, 12 bodies, all confirmed as scientists with private defense contracts, a hidden cryolab with partial data corruption, dozens of files referencing a psychological warfare program labeled Stratus 0. All funding sources were scrubbed, all affiliations vanished. The project was denied at every level of government. The story died in one news cycle. No comment. No such program exists. Mr. Morrow was never in our system. We have no knowledge of his whereabouts. Some say he died in the desert. Others say he never existed at all. But 2 months later, a video surfaced, grainy, low-res, posted on hundreds of dark web channels at once. Jax, staring into the camera, eyes hollow, beard grown out, behind him a burning compound. To everyone watching, you're part of it. If you click this link, if you're seeing me, you're next. Then the screen went dark, and across 5 continents, 6 black site facilities activated backup protocols. Subject 18, initialization pending. Environment rendering. Profile, Morrow J. Behavioral map, Clone Fork 1A. Stratus wasn't dead, it was rebooting. Epilogue, the first blink. Somewhere deep underground, beneath a facility that didn't appear on any map, a chamber hummed to life. Rows of cryopods illuminated in soft blue. One pod at the center glowed brighter than the rest. Inside it, a man, naked, shaved, wired up to neuromuscular sync lines. His chest rose, once, twice, then his eyelids twitched and opened. Scientist 1, vitals stabilizing. Clone Fork 1A is awake. Baseline memory packet loaded? Loaded. No recall of prior simulation. Perfect blank slate. The subject's name, Jax Morrow. Designation, Subject 018. Simulation, Holloway Beta Stage 1 to commence within 48 hours. No need for sedation. He wouldn't resist what he didn't remember. Not yet. A flicker in the new Jax's mind. A scream in a dream. A fire. A face. A name. Gone in a heartbeat. The system loaded the town. Power grids activated. The fake sun was positioned in the east. Cameras went live. And somewhere on a monitor, a psychologist noted the time of the first blink. Session log, Stratus.18 objective, observe collapse over extended cycles. Analyze response to recursive identity bleed. Fail-safes, rebuild on demand. Memory loop enforcement active. There would always be another subject. There would always be another Holloway. Stratus never ended. It simply restarted. The end. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, ring the bell, and tell your friends about my listening library.